You guys might want to grab some popcorn and a drink with this one, or take a piss break, because this might be probably one of the longest map behind the cams I've done. This is the story of when I first got suspended in a beef with one of my first teachers in high school. I believe I was in 10th or 11th grade, because my memory is shitty, you guys know that. I hated this teacher so much, she gave me a first horrible impression. I went to Crossland High School, and my mother was a secretary there. Yeah, that's right, talk shit, but you know what? I didn't have to ride the damn bus. Got to drive home, motherfucker. Anyway, so my mom was the secretary at the school. Everyone knew that I was her son, blah, 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 but let's back to the story. I went to the keyboard teacher, and you know me, I was the class clown. You can ask anybody in my class that I tried to be the funny guy. Keyword tried. I had my moments. And teacher was doing roll call or whatever, introducing herself. Of course, I'm fucking around in a joke, you know, making jokes, fucking around. And she said, hey, what's your name? I said, Matthew Balint. She said, oh, you're Miss McNally's son. Because my mom got remarried, that's why her name's McNally. She said, oh, you're Miss McNally's son. Don't think just because your mother works here means you're gonna get away with everything. I'm like, I wasn't trying, I was just talking. Okay? Fuck you, bitch. So that was a horrible first impression. I'm like, okay, you could have just told me to shut the fuck up like every other student, but that's one thing I hate. I hate it when people try to single me out, because then I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure you look stupid. So she singled me out, which I didn't like. That's one thing I hated back in high school, is that some of the teachers would try to treat me differently because the fact that my mother was there. Like, instead of sending me to the principal's office, they'd be like, oh, I'm going to send you down to your mom's office. Like, I'm 16, 17 years old. I'm too grown for that. I used to talk shit too when they say like, oh, go to your mom's office. I'll be like, oh, okay, all she's gonna do is give me a slap in the hand, not tell me what to do no more. I used to talk shit. Anyway, back to the story. The ADHD, bro. Anyway. Months, I'd say months. I've been trying my hardest. I've been telling teachers and counselors saying like, oh, can I get out this class? I know there's another keyboard class. Can I please take that one? I hate my teacher. I know she hates me, which I know she fucking did. And they say like, oh no, you can't just transfer out of a keyboard to like another specific keyboard class, like, but they're still the fucking same. So this is what happened. I was already in a bad mood. And I'm just trying to cheer up. I had a horrible day at school. I'm like, oh, homework, my teachers were, I was having a bad day, got in trouble, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to keyboard class, you know, and hopefully we have a substitute, but of course we didn't, so it pissed me off more. So I'm just sitting there, and you know, some of my friends are talking to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, I'm having a bad day, you know, fuck this, fuck that, piece of shit dog. And you know, of course, teacher tells me to shut my mouth. I'm like, oh my god, this bitch is gonna test me today. She could have told me to be quiet. Don't tell me to shut my mouth. And I was like, oh. And that's another thing. Is because I'm going to tell y'all right now, I went to a therapist because of my disorder. But that's for another map behind the cam. But I'm letting y'all know this right now. So, of course, my therapist has told me to just, instead of lashing out and yelling, mumble under my breath. Say things to myself that I would want to say to them, but instead of hurting someone's feelings, just say it to yourself. That way you're still saying it and you're making yourself feel better. That's what my therapist has told me. So when I did that, she was like, what? What'd you say? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. So I said it. I was just like, oh, I don't give a fuck anyway. You know? I was just mumbling. So then she was like, oh, if you keep this up, I'm gonna get security. I was like, well, go ahead, bring it. And she said, excuse me? I said, bring it. This is what lit the fire to the, like, this was the fan to the flame. She said, oh, come say that to my face. I'm like, oh, so a teacher want to act like she want to go to my level. See, she should have went above me and just said, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to go back to my lesson, I'm going to just send you away to the office. But she said, say it to my face. So I'm like, oh, okay, so she's gonna come down to my level? Then fine, I'm gonna meet you halfway there then. So I got up off my desk, I walked to her, I got in her face like this, and I said, bring it. I did some, because I watched WWE all the time when I was at that age, so I was like, bring it. Everyone was like, ooh, and laughing. Because, you know, plus me being the only white guy in my school, that's kind of funny to have someone say, oh, bring it, man. Come on. Let's go. You know, so everyone was like, ooh, and ha, you told her. And so she felt embarrassed. So she's like, oh, well, I'm going to get security. Then, of course, this gay kid, this tall gay guy, I guess must be her teacher's pet or whatever. Everyone used to make fun of him because he used to watch Beyonce music videos all the time, and he used to always watch that Check Up On It video like 80,000 times throughout the class. So he decides to get in my face like, you better get away from my honor, I'll kick your ass. And I'm like, get your faggot ass out of my face and go watch Beyonce videos. Everyone started laughing at him. So the teacher told him to sit back down. And of course she decided not to call security. She was like, you know what? I'm gonna call your mother. And I was like, why you gotta call my mother? Huh? What? Am I special or something? Why can't you get security like someone else? To be honest, my mom's office is right down the hall. Why can't you take me yourself? Are you scared? You must be scared of me. I was just straight talking shit to her. To eventually one of the security people walked by, and it was a security person who I was really cool with. And he said, is there a problem? And she didn't say no. She just went, and pointed to me. And he's like, you can't be serious, Matthew, come on. And I'm like, he's like, well, Matt, you know what this means, you gotta come with me. So I went around with her, and you know, I was just like, I gave her like a mean look, and she was like, bye bye. And I'm like, oh, this bitch wanna keep going. And I was just like, fuck you, you fucking bitch. And she was like, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. She was one of those bitches that wanted to get the last word in. She was like, I'm gonna make sure you're suspended for a week, bye bye, bye bye. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Now I'm like, watch, I'm gonna come back the very next day, and I'm gonna come back and give you a big smile on your face. Fuck you. And she was like, bye bye, bye bye, and just slammed her door. Of course, I get escorted. I talked to one of the vice principals. He said, Matt, you have never gotten in trouble in this school before. And I said, I know, I'm sorry, I'd let it get to my head and all that, because I have a huge anger issue. He was like, well, you know what? You've been in this school for a long time. Well, not for a long time, but you know. I've been in the school for 2-3 years, and you've never been in trouble, not once. I am going to suspend you, but I'm not going to suspend you for as long as she wants you, because she wanted me suspended for 10 days. But he said, because you're such a good kid, I'm going to go ahead and give you a slap on the wrist. I'm only going to give you 2 days of suspension. I said, okay, that's fine with me. I'll take 2 days. I'll take 2 days off. So then after that, I talked to my mom, and she said because of what happened with that, you know, the big gay guy I was telling you about, apparently he wanted to kick my ass after what happened. So to avoid anything from escalating or from me beating his ass, because after the whole situation, I kept mugging him, and I was like, and all of that. So they were worried that a fight was going to start. So they moved me to the other keyboard class, which was what was his name? It was Dr. something. I forgot what his name was. Dr. Riddick, I think? I don't remember. Dr. Bridges, that was his name. Fucking Dr. Bridges was a cool motherfucker. I love that guy. He was a cool keyboard teacher. But, that aside, after the whole situation ended and got me moved to another class, apparently the same teacher that, you know, I had the altercation with, she tried to press charges on me for attempted assault, for getting in her face. And of course, I guess this people talked to her and said, well, technically you told him to get in your face. And plus, because of the fact that, you know, I was in special ed. That's another reason. Is because of the fact, because my ADD and ADHD, and I was in special ed, there was no way it would be able to go to court. There was no way she could charge me because she told me to get in her face, and plus I was in special ed. So, and plus she didn't know I was in special ed either. Even though technically as a teacher she's supposed to know that, but she didn't. So they told her, oh no, you can't file charges. So So after that, every single time I walked by her, I just had the biggest fucking grin on my face. Like I told her, I was like, because I remember when I came back after those 2 days, I walked by her while she was like letting students in. I pointed at her, I was like, I told you I'd be back. I smiled and walked off. That was beautiful. I love it. That's the story of my first beef with a teacher and the first time me getting suspended. I'll see you guys next video.